5 mistakes you want to avoid when doing product research on Amazon. Hi, my name is Joshua Crisp. If you are new to this channel, please do me a favor and subscribe. Next to the subscribe button, you are going to see a bell. Click that bell, that way you'll be notified every time I drop a new video and you can be first to market, first to dollar. We'll see you in a minute. Alright guys, welcome back. Joshua Crisp here, and today we're going to be talking about 5 different mistakes you want to avoid when doing product research. A lot of these are no-brainers, but they get overlooked. I get asked these questions a lot, and I see a lot of people looking past these different areas. So this is 5 different things that you want to avoid, and by doing so will make product research a whole lot easier. So let's dive into number 1. Google Trends. Once you find a product, you want to head over to Google Trends and you want to type it in. So I'm going to be using fidget spinners for this example throughout the whole video. So if you go ahead and click fidget spinners, type it in, it'll pop up the report and it will show you the interest over time. So you can see here in August, it was flatlined. December last year, flatlined. It started to gain traction right here at the end of March, beginning of April. It spiked and it hit its resistance. Once it hit its resistance, it went downhill and it started to tank. Now, there's not even any volatility in here, which means there's no spikes in the lines. It's currently horizontal. So this is a perfect example of a trending product. I don't recommend getting into a trending product, especially for your first product. Another way to see if a product is trending, this is just Amazon. I typed in fidget spinner, is to pop up your Jungle Scout app, and what it's going to do, it's going to preload all of the results for this page. You can see all of the results for this page. So when you click down here on the bottom right on trend, what it's going to do is it's going to show you a smaller chart, which they are pulling this data from Google Trends. Another way to get into Google Trends is you'll see this button down here in the bottom right. You can click on this button and it will take you directly to the page that we had up. That's 2 different ways to get to Google Trends. This is 2 different ways to check and see if the product is trending. Now, this is an example of a trending item. If it was seasonal, for instance, let's say it was Christmas lights, you would see a spike in for each year in November and December. Then the rest of the months would be horizontal. It would be plain. So that's a good way to differentiate and see the difference between a seasonal and trending item. Number 2, checking Google Patents. All you do is you go to Google and you type in Google Patents. Now when you do this, you'll be brought up to the search engine that looks like this. It's within Google, obviously, and all you're going to do is type in the broad keyword for your product. So if you're doing grill gloves, you would type in grill gloves, garlic press, garlic press. For this example, and throughout the video, we're going to be using fidget spinners, okay? So this fidget spinner, type it in, and you are going to see the results. So it looks like 4 results. Now, I'm not going to go into too much depth about what to look for in Google Patents because for time's sake, but you can see down here, spinning accessories, spinning toy. You want to click the one that looks like it's most relevant to your product. Okay, and what it's going to do is it's going to show you images. It's going to show you the different images for the schematic, for the blueprint of the product. You're going to see priority dates, filing dates. You're going to see the application number. You're going to see the inventor or the person who has the intellectual property and all that good stuff. Now, if you're serious about a product and you see something that looks similar, you want to dig deep into it. A lot of people have biased opinions about this. They say, oh, well, people don't file for infringement and they don't go after you on Amazon. I try to look at things for the long term. I don't do get rich quick things. I don't do anything black hat or anything illegal like that. So I recommend looking at this, and if you see anything that coincides with the product that you're looking at, dig deep and make sure that you're not infringing on their intellectual property. This will save your ass in the long run. And the reason why number 1 was Google Trends and number 2 was Google Patents is because when you're doing product research, before you get into step 3 and 4, which takes a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, you want to knock these out right away. This can be done pretty effortlessly and quickly. I'm talking within an hour. The other steps are going to take more time as well as more effort. So that leads me into step number 3, tracking sales using the Jungle Scout web app. Now there's going to be 2 parts to number 3. This is going to be part 1, is tracking sales using the Jungle Scout web app. All right, so let's go ahead and head over here. We still have these products that we were tracking from the last video, the last product research video. Once you track a product, and I'll show you really quick. I mean, I went over this a couple different times, but I'll show you guys really quick just in case you're new and you don't know how to do so. You want to go down and you want to find their ASIN, which is this guy right here. You want to copy it. You want to bring it into the Jungle Scout app, and you want to paste it right here. Go ahead and click Add to Tracker, and you'll see that it pops up in your list. Now I'm going to delete this because I don't want to track this product, but you'll see that you will get the metrics for the last 30, last 60 days. If this was a new product that was just introduced to the market, then it will have the available metrics and daily data for the amount of time that it was open. But the reason why you want to add this to the tracker is that way you can look at the different products and you can see the sales history. Now, even though this is going off of estimates, this is going off of APIs and AIs, this is a little bit more efficient way to do so. So there's a lot of things that you can be looking for. Here you can see it looks like they started a launch. Maybe they started a giveaway here, and you see no data. You see no data because they probably ran out of inventory. And then you can see their BSR was dropping, which means that they were increasing their rank as they were selling more products. It shows you the inventory, units sold, etc. So it looks like this guy's selling 2 or 3 products a day. Not only does this show you the consistency of sales and the amount of sales, this lets you know their pricing, okay? You can also utilize Camel, and what that's going to do is that's going to show you the consistency of their pricing structure. So their BSR might be dropping, which means they're getting better ranking, but if you go head over to Camel, or you look on the daily data, they might be changing the prices to try to find that price point that is advantageous for them. So there's a lot of variables you got to see. You can't just go off of the Jungle Scout Chrome extension numbers because that's not going to show you the history. That's just going to show you real-time, at-the-moment metrics. Now, even though this is advantageous for starting out, this is a good way to start your product research and find your first product. But you can't just choose a product off of the Chrome extension numbers. Once you use the criteria that I show you guys and you run the Chrome extension while doing your product research, once you find products that meet that criteria, then you can import them to the web app and dig a little bit deeper. You can see the history, the sales history, the pricing history, the sales velocity, and all that good stuff. Part number 2 to step number 3 is the 999 cart method. All right, this is important. After you've went and found the products on the Chrome extension, they met the criteria. You've imported them into the web app, and you've been monitoring and watching them for several days minimum. I like to suggest a week just to see, especially if it's a newer product. But after you've been tracking it in the web app and everything looks kosher, you want to head over to just your standard Amazon account. All right, find a product, add it to your cart. I'm going to be completely transparent. This does not work 100% of the time. There is a way to block this, and I think I talk about it on YouTube. There is a way to block this by going into your settings and enabling the amount of the quantity that someone can purchase. So you can go and set a threshold at 10 or 20 or whatever it be. That way, somebody like me or you can't go and track the products, or competitors can't track your daily sales. The reason why this is so powerful and so important is because there is no estimates, there is no guessing. This is exact numbers because Amazon is pulling it from their inventory within their dashboard. So really quick, what you do, this is really simple, is you add the product to your shopping cart, you go over to quantity, click on 10 plus, and the most that they will let you add is $999. They don't let you get into 4 figures, all right? So the most you can add is $999. Click update, and you will see this sign pop up right here. Now you'll see it says the seller has only 46 of these available. So why this is so powerful is because this shows you exactly the amount of products that the seller has in their inventory. Now we all know that BSR changes, there's a tick per hour. BSR changes 24 times per day. This changes just as quick. This can change every 60 seconds depending on the sales velocity. So what I recommend in conjunction with running the web app is to go ahead and write down something, write down a chart, or go in Excel and make a chart for 5 days and track this in the morning for 5 days straight. Go to your cart, add 999. And what it's going to do is it's going to update it in real time and synchronize with the seller's inventory levels. This way you have 100% certainty the amount of products that is selling each day. Now, like I said, if the seller's smart and they're an Amazon vet, then they know how to block this. And this might not always work, but you'd be surprised how many people do not know this trick that I'm sharing with you guys. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't mean the end of the world. Jungle Scout is pretty accurate, but at the end of the day, it is an estimate. It's not a guarantee. This is a guarantee. So don't get frustrated and don't get bent out of shape, and definitely don't make this be a deter if you want to get a product but you can't track it with the 999. I'm just trying to show you guys a couple different steps and methods to do so. Number 4, using different strategies and metrics. Let me go ahead over here and I can show you what I mean by different methods and strategies. I've got a couple people tell me, I've been doing product research for weeks. I'm not finding anything. There's 2 aspects to this. Number 1 is the psychological aspect, that you're always going to try to find something better. Almost like a video game. When they show you your top score, you always want to keep playing to beat your top score. When you're doing product research and you find something that meets your criteria, that the metrics look good, it's not a trending, it's not a seasonal item, logistically it makes sense, it's inexpensive to import, there's a demand, but there's not a supply. It meets all the criteria, all the metrics. Don't push it to the back and keep trying to find something more profitable or cheaper to ship or cheaper to source. Okay? I struggled with that intensely when I started out, and I passed up a product that's now doing, between $1 and $1.3 million dollars a year. Okay? By this same mistake. All right? So don't do that mistake. I used to do it all the time. It does exist. You put them on your web tracker and then you want to keep looking. You want to find something that's maybe making more money, or maybe it's cheaper to import, or it's smaller, whatever the case being. Once you find something that makes sense, that hits that criteria where it's profitable, it meets all your metrics, push forward with it if it makes sense. Because what happens is your niche can become saturated, or you can lose out, and so on and so forth. Part 2 to the strategy and metrics section is, if you do the same product research, if you have the same filters clicked, you're going to get the same results. Now we talked about, I have a video on YouTube you can check out solely on Niche Hunter, okay? And I have 4 different videos on YouTube, free videos, over 2 hours worth of content for free on product, using the product database and product research. Okay, there's different categories, there's different filters, price points, etc. Don't just use the same filters over and over. Okay, I recommend certain filters where you get broad products, a broad search where the metrics will meet that criteria. For instance, the 300 estimated sales, which is 10 per day, 3,000 a month in profit. We talk about this different stuff, the reviews for the threshold of difficulty, but don't just keep searching this and going through the pages if you don't find a product, because you're going to get the same results. Play with the price points, play with the estimated sales, the reviews, play with the filters. If product, once you find a product or a niche that contains a product in the product database, go over to Niche Hunter, start playing with Niche Hunter, start changing the competition levels, the word count, opportunity score. Start changing all the different attributes and filters. That way you can get different results. There's more than one way to find products within Jungle Scout. And if I'll say it again, if you guys keep using the same attributes, the same filters, you're going to get the same results. So play around with that. There's no guaranteed have to do way or must search way. The way I show is just the easiest to get the most broad search where it meets the criteria that I talk about. All right, so play around with that, and that way you can get different results. Just by making a minor switch, by switching estimated sales or price point a little bit, you'll get a whole lot of different products. You'll get a lot more different products, different niches, all that good stuff. So play around with that. That way you can get different results. All right. Now, number 5. This is the most important. Even though it has nothing to do with me showing you live or showing you any software or anything like that, number 5 is the most important, and that's do not rush. A lot of people message me, and they want to pick their first product. Any of you that invest in real estate or know about real estate, I look at hundreds of homes before I make a purchase. Okay? Now, even though the first one I look at may make sense, I look at all of the ones available in the area before I make a decision. The same rule applies that I recommend for product research. If you find one right off the gate that hits the criteria, give yourself a little bit more time, track it with the web app, do the 999 cart, make sure you check everything, the seasonality of it, make sure it's not trending. If it's within a niche that you like, check out other products in that niche. Don't rush to that first product, especially if you have under 5 products live on Amazon. If this is your first Amazon product, I know that it's tempting, that you guys are excited, ready to get the ball rolling, but you can lose out, especially if it's your first product. All right? If you have 5, 10 products already and you know what you're doing, you know what metric you're looking for, you're already in a niche or 2 different niches, then this doesn't apply to you. But if you're starting out, you are a beginner. Everything that glitters isn't gold. I'm sure you guys heard that saying. So number 5, do not rush. So these are 5 quick tips of mistakes that you want to avoid. These are 5 mistakes that I see a lot of people making. And if you avoid these 5 tips and you follow these 5 different methods, it will make product research a whole lot easier. It'll make your life easier, and it will make finding a good product easier. All right? So I hope this video helped you guys. If you're new to the channel and you stuck around this long, please drop a like. If you have any questions, comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click the notification bell. That way you are notified every time I release new content. I make new videos of pure content, no fluff, each and every day. And until next time, guys.